Thank you, Shrikant. I now move the ordinary resolution relating to item number 1 of the notice for adoption of standalone and consolidated audited financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2015. Reports of the auditors thereon and the report of the board of directors on the standalone financial statements. Before putting the resolution to vote, I invite the members to seek clarifications, if any, and offer their comments. I request Shri Kalidas, our company secretary, to announce the names of the members who want to ask these questions. Kalidas. I announced it at the Reliance Infra AGM that we will have factory visits there. The same thing will be organized by us as far as Reliance Power is concerned. So there will be a factory visit. 2 is there have been requests for dividend, and I'm happy to announce that the board of directors of Reliance Power will consider a maiden dividend for this financial year. I will ask a question on coal and self-sufficiency of coal. As far as our power projects are concerned, we have coal security for all our power projects. And India is increasing its coal production and ramping up its coal production, and we have very ambitious targets of doubling our coal production in India. So hopefully India will be self-sufficient in coal production. A comment was made by shareholders in terms of a merger of Reliance Power with Reliance Infrastructure. We have no such proposal in front of the board at the moment. Anup Bhai asked a number of questions which were very insightful, and let me cover some of them. The first one was on Tilaya and the reasons for the termination. And the termination is primarily because a project that was won in 2008, even in 2015, after nearly 8 years, even the basic land has not been allocated. So clearly, because of the delay in land allocation, we think that the project was terminated. The off-takers would expect that even if we implement the project in 2020, the 2008 tariffs will apply even in 2020 for 25 years. So the price of milk, coffee, tea, sugar, wheat, bananas will change every day, but the power prices must remain the same for 25 years. So the company is very committed to shareholder value creation, and we don't see any reason. The matter is sub judice, so I will just stop at that level. As far as Krishnapatnam is concerned, also the matter is sub judice, primarily due to the change in law. The Indonesian government changed laws and regulations which affected the price of coal, and that was not being accepted by the procurers as a change. They wanted the old prices to apply, and which would naturally mean that it is not a viable project for us. These were some of the challenges that I mentioned in the Reliance Infra AGM in terms of the regulatory challenges that the sector faces. So it's not only for Reliance Power or the power sector, but it's across the infrastructure sector. There are a very large number of challenges, and there is a gridlock in terms of regulatory approvals and in terms of the judicial process. We have to find a fast-track mechanism, a faster way of resolving disputes, a faster way of arbitration, a faster way of contract management, if we want our infrastructure sector to grow. The Chitrangi project, which you mentioned, we are awaiting the coal allocation. Again, there are several public interest litigations in India filed, so the matter is sub judice on that. You asked about the coal mines in Indonesia, and with India's ambitious plans of doubling our coal production from 450 million tons to 900 million tons, we have decided that we will be exiting the coal business of Indonesia, and that is a transaction we hope that we will complete in the course of this year. There are 3 mines in South Sumatra. The total amount of resources are 2 billion tons of resources, and we will be exiting those coal mines and will be focusing on the coal mining business and the coal reserves business in India. You asked about the Samalkot business. It was covered in our presentation, and it's linked with the gas supply question. And India is facing a tremendous shortage of gas. There is 25,000 megawatts of gas-based power plants at an investment of over 100,000 crores that are sitting idle because of the lack of gas. It's a national asset, all these plants, whether it's public sector, private sector, joint sector. And India is energy short, but we don't have gas. And there is nothing in the foreseeable future that we can see that India will have adequate quantities of gas. Just to fire this 25,000 megawatts, we require 100 million cubic meters a day of gas. So we are far away from those targets. So we have made a strategic decision that we will relocate all our Samalkot facilities into Bangladesh, for which we have signed an MOU. Bangladesh is hugely short of power, and we hope that that will be an ultimate solution for us going forward. Question was asked in terms of the solar plant commissioning. The plants have been commissioned, so we are not waiting for anything. And as far as the last question on the Chhatrasal mines, the government of India cancelled those Chhatrasal mines because of court cases. We have moved the court that this is a violation of the tender terms and conditions. The matter is sub judice and is pending in the Delhi High Court. So I hope I've answered a lot of your questions that were out there. Okay. Let me make some observations and look at what are the future strategies for our company. Clearly, we have completed a most ambitious phase 1 of Reliance Power's capital expenditure, 50,000 crores. In a record time, we have created 6,000 megawatts of operating capacity, and we've emerged as the largest producer of coal in the private sector, the largest mines at Moher and Moel Amrori in Madhya Pradesh, and we produce 20 million tons a year. We are amongst the top 3 private sector infrastructure investors in the country. We are now focused on operations excellence and delivering best-in-class performance. All our plants are running at 90 to 100% compared to a national average of 65%. We have robust financials amongst industry peers. We are delivering consistent and profitable financials. Our EBITDAs in this year will more than double from our previous year. So we will have a very high growth rate in our EBITDA, in our cash flow. We have one of the strongest balance sheets amongst the private sector companies in the power sector. We are conservatively leveraged with a debt equity ratio of just 1.5:1, one of the lowest in the power sector compared to industry, which are at 3 to 5 times higher than our ratio. And as I have already announced, that the board will consider a maiden dividend for Reliance Power shareholders, over 3.7 million individual shareholders in the company. We are committed at Reliance Power to profitable and sustainable growth while remaining financially conservative. Our MOU with the government of Bangladesh for setting up a gas-based power project will bring back in reverse cash flow to our Samalkot assets and all the capital equipment that is installed there at the Samalkot plant. As far as the future is concerned, as Srikanth covered in his presentation, we are committed to clean and green renewable power. We are driven by the 100 gigawatt solar capacity addition targets of the government of India. We have a memorandum of understanding with the government of Rajasthan for setting up 6,000 megawatts of solar capacity in solar parks. We are participating in many upcoming solar bids in the various states that are there, an ongoing feature. And we have recently been awarded a letter of intent through competitive bidding for a 960 megawatt Jangi Thopan Pawari hydropower project in the state of Himachal Pradesh, which we hope we will execute in the medium to long term. We are focused on India as far as our thermal business is concerned, and as already I have announced that we will be exiting the Indonesian coal mine concessions, which has over $2 billion tons of resources. So those were my comments as far as the future prospects are concerned. As required, the company has provided remote e-voting facility to all the members of the company from September 27, 2015 to September 29, 2015. The voting rights of the members shall be in proportion with the number of shares held by them as on the cutoff date being September 23, 2015. The voting through physical ballot has also been made available to the members who attend the AGM and who have not already cast their votes by remote e-voting. The Board of Directors of the company have appointed Shri Anil Loya, partner Dayal and Loya Chartered Accountants, as the scrutinizer to scrutinize the voting process. Now, Shri Kalidas will guide you for voting at the meeting.